Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another rebuild video. Today I'm going to be rebuilding the LeBron era Detroit Pistons team. This team went 30 and 52, and this was the second season that they missed the playoffs after their uh, tremendous runs that included a championship as well. Unfortunately, this will be a post commentary because my recording audio cut out midway through. But I'm going to try to make the best out of it because I think it was a great video. Our point guard positions were Rodney Stuckey and a bunch of 60 overall auto-generated point guards. Rodney Stuckey had a very solid year in 2009-10 season. He came off a season where he put up 16 points per game in pretty lackluster efficiency. As you can see, 40% from the field and only 22% from three. He did put up 5 assists and also 4 rebounds, which is not terrible at all. Our shooting guard positions were probably our strongest position at the start of the video with Rip Hamilton, 81 overall, 32 years old. He's coming off a season where he put up 18 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists per game on also pretty shaky efficiency. Tracy McGrady, 31-year-old. He came off a season where he put up 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists on very shaky efficiency in New York. This was at the tail end of his career. He only spent one more year in the NBA after this, playing with the Hawks. And we also had Ben Gordon, who was in a very similar position as well with McGrady. He also came off a very shaky year, 27 years old, 76 overall player. 14 points, 3 assists on very shaky efficiency. He also battled a lot of injuries in his career. Yeah, our small forward position left a lot to be desired with a 69 overall small forward. Our power forwards included Charlie Villanova and Jason Maxiell, both of them being 26, 27 years old. Pretty young, solid player. Charlie Villanova, A- 3-point shot, B- defense, solid potential as well. A solid trade candidate, 22 million for the next 2 years. Jason Maxiell also made a lot of money, 5 million for the next 2 years. Solid inside defense, solid perimeter defense, especially for a power forward. Greg Monroe is probably the building block of the future, 20-year-old, 79 overall big man. B- potential, solid rebounder here. Obviously his rookie year. He doesn't have the biggest potential, so he'll probably peak around 82, 83 overall. And Ben Wallace is here at the very tail end of his career. I believe this was the end of his career. So not too great. Probably a solid option for any championship contending team. I could probably get 2 or 3 second round picks for him. So my main goal for year one was to trade away some of my veteran pieces like Richard Hamilton, Tracy McGrady, Charlie Villanova, Ben Wallace, Ben Gordon, and try to get draft picks, younger players, and hopefully I can get good players through trading away those picks later on in the future, and also through the draft. I also implemented a custom 2011 draft, which gave the players a bit of more realistic ratings. Guys like Kawhi Leonard come in as an 81 overall, when in real life there were more project players. I also added more players like Derek Williams and also Jimmer Fredette, but also much more than that, Jan Vesely, and as Cantor, and much more. So here I'm trying to make my first trade with the San Antonio Spurs. I'm going to give up Richard Hamilton, Tracy McGrady, and also DeJuan Summers for Antonio McDyess, Garrett Temple, Matt Bonner. And I was trying my best to get 3 first-round picks out of this trade, but ultimately I ended with 2. That's a good deal in my opinion, getting 2 first-round picks for aging star players. Well, Tracy McGrady, not so much, but Richard Hamilton, 81 overall, 2 first-round picks, one from 2011 and one from 2015. Especially the 2011 pick will help me out a lot. Getting a young player in the late first round will definitely be good. So as I was simulating, the Minnesota Timberwolves offered me a top 10 protected 2013 first round pick and Todd Smith, a contract dump for Ben Gordon and a second round pick. Ben Gordon was doing solid things off the bench, 14 points per game on pretty much the same efficiency as last year. And Todd Smith was a contract dump. Since the Minnesota Timberwolves didn't have a backup big man, I thought I would get rid of Ben Wallace as well for 2 second-round picks. And the Minnesota Timberwolves agreed to that deal. After a few weeks of simulating, we were sitting at a record of 10 and 21, which put us at 11th in the conference. That also projected us the 6th overall pick, and that's just not good. I was also offered this trade by the Memphis Grizzlies, Jason Maxiell, for a 67 overall small forward and a second round pick from 2012. And I decided to counter them with an extra second round pick. And they actually did accept that without any counter offer. So that's great for us. Another trade down, more picks. Jason Maxiell was doing solid things for us. He was coming off the bench for majority of the season, and he was a solid scorer, about 6 points per game and also 8 rebounds per game. So definitely his production will be missed, but not missed too much because we was the 11th seed. After waiving a player that was a 65 overall, I had a room to sign another player, and I decided to go with a guy from the G League called Neil Keller. He has a B minus 3-point shot and also a B perimeter defense. Although he's 6'2", I think he'll be a solid shooting guard on this team. In my attempts to get more first-round picks on this team, I traded Matt Bonner and one of my auto-generated point guards for a swap of second-round picks, Ethan Thomas, Tony Malone, and a Atlanta 2013 first-round pick, just a couple weeks before the trade deadline. After that trade, we were sitting at a record of 13 and 34, which put us 14th in our conference. That's much better with the goal that I'm trying to do. We was offered a trade by the Oklahoma City Thunder, Royal Ivy for Antonio McDyess. And you know me, I had to do my counter offer, trying to get that second round pick from OKC. And let's see if they'll accept that. A second round pick from 2011, and they agree, which is great. All right, I've simulated to the end of the season. Our whole team is garbage at this point of the season. We're sitting at a record of 14 and 67. And the last game with Philly, I just decided to simcast it because why not? Our only good players at this point were Rodney Stuckey and Greg Monroe. And we lose another game. LeBron James is MVP, putting up a very impressive stat line, 30 points, 7 rebounds. Blake Griffin is Rookie of the Year. Jordan Farmar is Sixth Man of the Year with the New Jersey Nets. He put up a very solid stat line. Tim Duncan is Defensive Player of the Year. Jordan Farmar is also Most Improved Player of the Year. And Greg Popovich is Coach of the Year, 65 and 17. And Nathan Source is Executive of the Year of the Oklahoma City Thunder. First team All-NBA, LeBron, D. Wade. All-NBA second, All-NBA third. All-Defensive first team. And it's looking great. An All-Defensive second team. Josh Smith had a very impressive year, actually. He made it All-NBA second and also All-NBA defensive second. So he had an amazing year. As you can see, Josh Smith is right there with the Atlanta Hawks. All-Rookie first team. Blake, John Wall, Paul George was there. There's also this guy, Lester Cassell, that I've never heard of. And very solid things. Hey, Greg Monroe made it. He didn't have the most efficient year shooting the basketball, but he was also a rookie. He only shot 42% from the field. Obviously, it's a red flag for a big man to shoot that bad from the field. I mean, he did keep it up, though. Anyway, that's the season done. LeBron James is Finals MVP as he beats the Dallas Mavericks in this universe. That was a Finals matchup in real life as well, although Dallas took care of business. This time, it was the Heat. Some interesting things in the West, Portland beat the Lakers, and yeah, the East, the Bobcats made it into the playoffs. Surprisingly, these were some of the trades that were made. Feel free to pause and look at some of the trades that were made. Jose Calderon being traded for a first-round pick, and Luis Thompson, Hedo Turkoglu being moved for Nazir Mohammed. Yeah, some solid moves being done. Feel free to pause and take a look at that. So these were some of the players that were about to retire. Shout out to Jason Williams retiring. There's Don Nelson and Frank Vogel that retired. I decided to bring back Frank Vogel because he still coaches in real life. All right, so now it's time to do the draft lottery. We have a 25% chance at the first overall pick. Currently, I believe it is only 14% chance for the top 3 teams to avoid tanking. Regardless of that, I get the first overall pick, which is great for me. That's exactly what I wanted, a choice of who I want to draft at the top pick. Kawhi Leonard is probably the player I'm going to go with. Kyrie Irving is also a great option, and Jimmy Butler too. So yeah, here I was just looking at the players, and I'm trying to see who helps me the most with a win now type of move. My thing was, do I go with Kawhi or Kyrie? And ultimately, I decided with the two-way superstar potential of Kawhi Leonard. Now, keep in mind that 2K generic rookie Kawhi Leonard comes in as an 81 overall. The updated quote-unquote Kawhi Leonard comes in more as a 76, 77 overall, so a bit lower rated, while Kyrie comes in at a 79. So I had Rodney Stuckey, so I made the decision to go with someone that helps me out in a different position. Here with the Spurs pick, I have an option of Davis Bertans, Brandon Knight, Jan Vesely is here. Obviously, I'm not going to draft him. He turned out to be absolutely garbage. So yeah, I'm just trying to think of who to get here. Do I get the backup Brandon Knight, or do I get somebody that I need more in Davis Bertans? Although the Bertans defensive game is not good, Jan Vesely has a very interesting defensive game. So maybe I do go for him and hope he produces enough on offense to stay afloat. He does have a C-minus 3-point shot, a solid inside game. I was trying to look at some of the more generic players. There's Corey Joseph. He's currently on the Golden State Warriors in real life. Solid 3-point shot, solid playmaker, a pretty average defensive game as well. There's a couple guys down there that I was just looking for a while. Ultimately, I decided between either Davis Bertans or Brandon Knight. Brandon Knight in real life went around 8th or 7th, I believe, to the who did he get? I think he got drafted to the Detroit Pistons, so it was either them or the Milwaukee Bucks. Either way, I think Brandon Knight is a better player to be drafted here. He has a better potential. He also has an interesting wingspan. It's 6'7". He can run the shooting guard for me in case I don't get one in free agency. He's also projected to go higher with a range of 29 to 15. So he definitely would have been a steal there. So I decided to go with Brandon Knight, a solid option just in case I can't get Stuckey back when he enters free agency. And I also had the second round pick, 31st overall. So I think that was a very easy option for me. Davis Bertans here. Thank you very much. Next, I also had the last pick of the second round thanks to the OKC Thunder. And with this pick, I was trying to think of who to draft. I really didn't know. And all of these prospects were auto-generated trash. And I was just looking at the best available Russ Valentine. He's a 5'10" point guard, and that's not good. This guy John Keefe, he was projected 51st, so he quote unquote be a draft steal. He comes in with a C+ 3-point shot and also a B perimeter defense, and the rest of the game around those two core aspects is garbage. But I mean, why not pick him up? The Chris Boucher say. I'm pleased to have him, so why not? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna sign Bertans as well and give Keefe a 2-way contract. Yeah, he's a 66 overall player, so Just bring him in. I'm gonna let all of these guys walk. These guys are absolutely garbage, and there's no chance I'm paying them 5 million, 3 million, 1 million each. So get the hell off my paybook. And Carmelo Anthony declined his player options, so it'll be very interesting to give him an offer. Rodney Stuckey's also I'm gonna qualify his offer just in case he decides to sign somewhere else. I can have the option of matching his contract. So at the moment, I'm looking very empty at my shooting guard and power forward positions. I could also use a backup big man. And also, I just need backup players. I need to sign as many solid players as I humanly can if I want to even dream about winning the championship next year. So entering the free agency, I threw Carmelo Anthony a big bag. I threw all these players a huge contract. J.R. Smith was somebody that I was considering. But yeah, I just threw players contracts. I also decided to throw a contract at Michael Beasley. He was only seeking a $7 million deal, but to make sure he actually signed with me, I overpaid for him a little bit. And yeah, I don't want the Minnesota Timberwolves matching his offer. And I didn't even notice that he was an unrestricted free agent, so I didn't really need to do that. So yeah, let's welcome Michael Beasley to the team, and I'm gonna let go of all these other guys, all these bums. Yeah, Atlanta Hawks. I tried to get Al Horford on my team, but they matched his contract, and Carmelo Anthony decided to go to a different team. I also made sure to bring back Rodney Stuckey on a 2 year, 2 year one plus one $11 million deal. I mean, he actually rejected that offer and was about to go to the Sacramento Kings, but luckily he was a restricted free agent, which allowed me to match his contract. So I'm gonna match that 3 year 36 that he's about to receive. And yeah, so at the moment, my team is Stuckey and Knight at the one. I don't have any good shooting guards. Nicola Allen, come on, man, that's trash. 67 overall. And Keith. Leonard and Beasley are my small forwards, although Beasley will definitely run the power forward for me next year. Bertans is a solid option at the moment. He has a B shot, and Monroe is my only center at the moment. So I definitely need to bring in a better center for sure. I had about 6 million to play around with, and OJ Mayo is definitely something I need. Somebody I need. So yeah, I definitely I think it's a great addition. I didn't think about this. Kendrick Perkins only wanted $2 million compared to Shaq's $6 million. So I offered Shaq a contract rather than Kendrick Perkins because of the badges that Shaq brought and the quote unquote experience. And yeah, so I kind of blanked out, gave Shaq a contract over Perkins. And because I did that, I couldn't afford OJ Mayo. So maybe if I signed Kendrick Perkins, I could have gotten OJ Mayo as well. I guess we'll never know though. Yeah, since I brought in Shaq, I couldn't sign OJ Mayo because quote unquote it took me over the cap. So that kind of broke my heart. So I was trying to look for a solid 3 and D shooting guard, small forward, and I looked at Kalena Azebuki, although he came off a year where he was very inefficient. He does have an A- shot, but it was just not worth the risk. So I was still looking for players to sign at that 3 and D position. This guy Armand Johnson looked pretty interesting. A 1 year pro, 22 years old. He is 6'3", a bit undersized at that shooting guard position, and he also had a contract from the Clippers. He just didn't have the best year shooting the ball though. He only shot 43% from the field. So I continued looking. I saw this guy that had a solid 3 and D potential, Sagana Aguegbo. He has a B- 3 point shot and also an A perimeter defense, and that's very good. So I decided to throw Aguegbo an offer for 480K. I threw him a 2 year. Actually, I threw him a 1 year deal. I thought I threw him a 2 year, but no, just 1 year. And he decided to sign, obviously. I was trying to see if I could throw OJ Mayo a 1 year, $3 million contract, which actually fit in with my budget. But unfortunately, he rejected that offer. So So that's my team. Ronnie Stuckey jumps up by 4 overall points, a B minus 3-point shot now. Really good development for him. Greg Monroe only jumps up by 1. I mean, that's nothing to be. It doesn't surprise me because, yeah, his development chart didn't look great at all. Shaquille O'Neal also dropped by 3 overall ratings, so I definitely should have picked up Perkins and OJ Mayo. But I just got mesmerized by Shaq's name. So I decided to go with Shaq. I also loaded up the 2012 draft class with the updated realistic ratings. A better draft class. I guess it would be good. My goal here was try to test the water, see where I was sitting at. So let's take a look at the rosters real quick and see where we're sitting at. So I'm looking at the point guard positions here. Brandon Knight and Ronnie Stuckey. Knight, 20 years old, 72 overall. Shooting guards are definitely our biggest weakness, with Aguegbo being my only solid, serviceable shooting guard. He has a B3 and an A minus perimeter defense. Beasley and Leonard were my small forward, so I put Beasley at the power forward position. So Kawhi is my only serviceable small forward at a 75 overall rating. Michael Beasley and Bertans are my power forwards, and Shaq and Monroe are my centers. Yeah, I usually never do this, but I decided that Shaq would be a great mentor for Greg Monroe. So I did the player mentorship thing on 2K. I don't really know how that works. So I made Monroe get immovable enforcer. That's a badge on 2K. He also got post lockdown from Shaq. And also I made him get the enforcer personality badge. I know it says rise up there, but I went back and made him get that rise up, or not the rise up. I made him go back and get the enforcer personality badge. Apparently that makes him play more tough or something like that, which Monroe could definitely use. So yeah, I didn't really feel the impact, although Monroe did start playing much better after I did that. So maybe it made him become better. I really didn't see the impact, but there was a small bit of impact, but that could have been from the overall jump. So about 2 weeks into the season, we were sitting at a record of 2-6, not a great start. And the Sacramento Kings offered me a top 10 protected 2012 first round pick for Brandon Knight. Knight was off to a solid start for a backup point guard drafted late in the first round. For Frank Singletary, who was a big contract dump, 2 year, $14 million. I was trying to see if they needed a backup point guard, and I mean, they could use one. They have an interesting lineup of point guards. They could also use a solid backup shooting guard. They have a very solid team, so I didn't understand why their pick was 2.5 star. I also got rid of Ronald Turner's terrible, atrocious contract, which was great for me. He was apparently making $58 million for the next 5 or 6 years, which is insane. Very terrible contract. So the fact that I could get rid of it and also get a first round pick out of that was just amazing. Great deal for me. That's what the lineup looked like at the moment. And I was trying to go out there and pick up depth. So I went to the G League and trying to find a backup point guard here, which I didn't have. I'm trying to look for a point guard that can potentially run the 2 guard as well. A 6'3", 6'4", maybe even a 6'5" point guard. If I can find one in that G League, that'll be amazing. And I found this guy. Emmanuel Barrea, a 3-point shot, a perimeter defense. I think he's a solid playmaker as well. 6'4". He's going to come in and hopefully be a great backup point guard for me. I also needed to sign another player, so I considered drafting or picking this guy, Brooke Erickson. He has a very solid all-around game, B's across the board, a C 3-point shot at the small forward position, really good. Look at Monroe. He's coming off the bench for some reason, so I decided to start him, give him more minutes. Beasley at the power forward position is doing solid things. And that Brooke Ellison guy, he's very solid. Barrea, Nate, no, definitely not that. No, thanks. So we're sitting at a record of 4-8, which puts us at 12. Solid win against the Wizards there. it was just a rough go at it, so I decided to make some trades. Yeah, since I had such a big hole at the shooting guard position, I decided to try to trade for Lou Will, who was on the trade block by the Philadelphia 76ers. And I had a ton of first round picks to throw at Philadelphia, and I also had a ton of second round picks. So I was trying to see if the Sixers would bite on a bunch of second round picks. And obviously they didn't. So I cleaned up the plate. I offered them Tony Malone and 2 first round picks, and they agreed to that deal. So Lou Will, welcome to the team. A very solid shooting guard. He's very efficient as well. Perfect, man. That was a great trade. Although I had just gotten Lou Will, I was not done making trades here. I offered the Boston Celtics 4 first-round picks and Singletary and also Aguegbo for Garnett, but he declined his player option, which is kind of unfortunate. That was, I think, a solid trade. Maybe they would have done the trade. The Celtics are a quote-unquote championship contending team. I tried to do the same thing for Pierce. They declined it though. I also got desperate enough to offer the New Orleans Hornets 5 first-round picks and Frankie Singletary for David West, who was averaging 20 points. I think he would have been an amazing acquisition on this team. 5 first-round picks, and they declined my offer. Oh my goodness, man, that's a joke. Not even superstars nowadays get traded for 5 first-round picks, let alone David West. At this point, I was stuck making trade offers for the last 30 minutes, so I kind of got desperate. And when you get desperate, bad things happen. Paul Millsap and Nick Gordon were traded for Frankie Singletary and 5 first-round picks. A bit of an overpay. I won't argue against that. But now my team's looking very solid. Rodney Stuckey's up to an 86 overall. Lou Will's an 80. Kawhi's a 76. Millsap now is alongside, pushing Michael Beasley to the bench alongside Shaq. And Barea's doing solid things. It's a very solid depth to this team. But guess what? I still had picks that needed to be traded. So let's see what I did next. I still had one more first-round pick to trade. So I decided to throw that alongside Aguegbo and Shaq. And I got Chris Kaman on the team. He's an 81 overall big man. Very solid from the Los Angeles Clippers. That move pushes Greg Monroe to the bench alongside Michael Beasley and other players like Hickson and Barea, Martinez. On the hunt to get more 80 overall players, I don't know how I got so lucky, but Emmanuel Barea and 4 second-round picks got me Goran Dragic from the Phoenix Suns. That's absolutely a steal. Goran Dragic off the bench, 81 overall, another 80 overall off the bench. It just keeps getting better and better. Yeah, so I was trying to get another solid player, so I traded Bertans and 4 second-round picks for DeMarre Carroll. Actually, I did 5. And let's see if they agree to this trade. DeMarre Carroll averaging 7 points with the Memphis Grizzlies. They accept that. Bertans and 5 second-round picks gets me another very solid player. A very good 3-and-D player. That's exactly what I wanted at that position. 9th man off the bench is a 76. A great backup to Kawhi Leonard. So here is the contract extension period. Chris Kaman seeking a 4-year, $6 million deal. I happily sign him to that deal. And Lou Will is seeking a $5 million deal, and I give it to him for 3 years. That's great contracts, especially for those 80 overall players. And we're sitting at a record of 32-31. That puts us at the 7th seed. A loss against the Wizards, big loss there. We win against the Dallas Mavericks. We're a 500 team, very solid. Let's go until the playoffs. Honestly, a pretty disappointing end to the season. A couple L's in a row. Wizards, Pacers, Raptors, Magic, even the Heat. Win against the Cavs makes us a 500 team, and 42-40 is what we end up with. Derrick Rose is MVP, putting up a 30-point double-double. Very solid efficiency for him. Kyrie Irving gets Rookie of the Year over Kawhi Leonard. Goran Dragic Sixth Man of the Year, so that was an amazing trade to be done there. Dwight Howard gets Defensive Player of the Year. That's very solid stats there. He did shoot 8% from three. Ty Lawson is Most Improved Player of the Year, jumping from 11 to 14 points per game, although he played more minutes. So you can be the judge of that. Did he really improve his statistics? Regardless of that, Scott Brooks is Coach of the Year with 70-12 record for the OKC Thunder, and Nathan Source is Executive of the Year, 70-12 back-to-back. This is what NBA First looks like. All-NBA Second looking like this. All-NBA Third, I did try to trade for Kevin Garnett. Josh Smith was another guy that I tried to target, although Atlanta declined my trade offer. Kevin Garnett, man, he would have been a nice player on this team. Regardless of that, all defensive first, all defensive second. Josh Smith killing it out there. Kawhi Leonard was second in Rookie of the Year standing, 17 points. Pretty shaky efficiency for Kawhi Leonard, 41-31. Although, I mean, he is a rookie. It is expected to his efficiency to be garbage year one. Jimmy Butler was right there, the third overall pick. And this is what All-NBA rookie second team looked like. I created an S-Cantor, not terrible. He was right there for the grabbing. I could have had him if I had the 26th pick. Derek Williams, that's also another guy that I created. I try to make them look as much as like the players as possible. I mean, obviously I'm not going to do that much of a good job, but it is what it is. All right, so we did get the 6th seed, and we're matched up against the 3 seed Boston Celtics. It's going to be a tough matchup. Rajon Rondo, 90 overall. Pierce, 90. Garnett, 90. 85 overall. Ray Allen. They got a very solid bench. Jason Smith, Nate Robinson. They very good team. The thing with their team is they have a solid bench, but we have the best bench in the NBA. We got Dragic. We got so many great options off the bench, Monroe, Carroll, that I think we're just going to overwhelm them. We also have a little bit of couple injuries here and there. Michael Beasley will be injured for a little bit, but I mean, that's only a day-to-day injury. So I'm going to try my best. I'm going to increase the minutes of our star players and hope for the best. So let's get started with game one. We're in Boston, and we jump up to a crazy first half lead. We're sitting at an 86-53, almost at the end of the third quarter. So I decided to just put my role players in, the bench guys, and to avoid injury. I mean, the Boston Celtics went on a crazy run at the fourth, but it didn't really matter because we got the dub. Michael Beasley is now fully back, and game two was pretty much the same story. First half was pretty close, and then it was just not close at all looking back, so I decided to do the same thing and put my bench in the game. So now it's game three, but before we do that, I forgot to look at the box score. Paul Pierce, Garnett, and Allen, they combined for a lot of points there, 23, 24, 25. Kind of a cold game for Jermaine O'Neal, 1 for 7. Nate Robinson, 1 for 5. 1 for 4 for Bogans. 3 for 10 for Smith. It was just a rough night for Boston. We did a really great job defensively, and as you can see, a deep rotation. Almost everybody played 10 minutes, except for Aldridge. But everybody did really good things. Even guys that were on cold nights like Beasley, 3 for 10. It didn't really matter. We blew them out. Regardless of that, let's simulate game three. At home now, we took care of the home court disadvantage in Boston. It was a pretty close game until the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, this game does go to overtime, and we did lose there. I was going to jump in, but it is the first round. I don't really want to waste time in the first round. Regardless of that, I didn't make any changes to the rotation. I believe that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're up 3-1, and it's a close game back and forth still. And this is actually the 3-1 lead. We're sitting at a very comfortable 3-1 lead against the Boston Celtics. And Kevin Garnett did get injured for them. It was a knee injury. I believe he was out. But yeah, it's a big blowout. Yeah, Kevin Garnett is day-to-day with a sprained right knee. Robinson is also out with a tendonitis injury. So the fact that they don't really have the strongest bench and one of their 90 overalls is out, it was just a recipe for disaster. And yeah, I just put my bench in and we blew them out at the Boston Celtics home court. A pretty shocking ending to that first round series against the Boston Celtics. The 4-1, that was great. The Miami Heat looking really good. JJ Barea at the point guard position. Obviously, he was a key part of the team that beat Miami in real life in 2011. Now he's a part of the Miami Heat. 80 overall point guard. Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Chris Bosh. Zydrunas Ilgauskas is a big weakness in Miami, 73 overall center. They also have Mike Miller off the bench and basically a bunch of low 70 overall players. So they got no depth, and I got all the depth. So once LeBron, Bosh, and Wade go to rest for those 10 minutes per night that they rest, it's going to be an excellent run for us. All right, it is a 27-20 opening for Miami. We do go on a very solid second quarter run, although it's not enough to get the victory. 116-111 loss against the Miami Heat at the Miami Heat court. Game 2 is about the same start. A very good first half for them, although we do go on a 40-27 third quarter run. We're up 6 points in the fourth quarter, 3 minutes. I do decide to simulate that, and we win by 8 points in Miami, going back to Detroit with a 1-1 tie. We did steal one game at their home court. That's great for us. Let's continue that winning streak. They're sitting at a very comfortable lead, and they win. Now I need to make sure I adjust my rotations. Paul Millsap is down 2 overall points because, quote-unquote, he is angry with things. I really don't understand why we're winning. We upset the Boston Celtics. We don't even have a business being in the second round, especially after facing off the Boston Celtics. Monroe is also down 2 overall points because of morale. So I decided to give Goran Dragic the start because he was just on fire, man. He was doing really good, and Lou Will was kind of cold. So I decided to bring Lou Will off the bench and start Goran Dragic. Let's see how that impacts the gameplay. We're down 2-1. We cannot afford to go down 3-1 against this team. And a solid run just makes them blown out. 89 points scored by the Miami Heat. That's absolutely garbage. Anyway, this is Game 5. Very important. A must win in any series. And we jump on a solid lead. And we never look back. All right, we're coming off an impressive win. Game 6, we're at home. We should take care of business, hopefully. It's a very close game to start off. It's Miami Heat has the lead 88-80 in the third quarter, and unfortunately, we can't take care of business. We're going to 7 against the Heatles. They don't have any major injuries. Game 7 at our home court, at their home court. 40-14 first quarter run, and we never look back. 105-81. I just put my bench lineup in, and we take care of business going to the Eastern Conference Finals. An impressive win there to advance on to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's the Washington Wizards versus the Chicago Bulls battling Game 7. They have a very solid team, although not as solid as Chicago is. Chicago has the reigning MVP, Derrick Rose. They also got Yao Ming off the bench. It's just going to be a rough battle with Chicago. I'm rooting for the Wizards. Let's go, DC! So yeah, I decided to simcast this game, and it was a pretty close back and forth game, but DC prevails, winning the Game 7 against the first seed Chicago Bulls. So we had to go up against this tough-nosed DC team. They have a very solid team. I will give it to them. Very impressive team. Andre Blatch, 81 overall. JaVale McGee, 81 overall. Nick Young, 84 overall. And John Wall is an 87 overall. They don't even have any business being in the Eastern Conference Finals, but they did take care of the Pacers, and they did take care of the Chicago Bulls. Bojan Bogdanovic, a rookie, drafted with the 12th overall pick in the 2011 draft. He's doing solid things for the DC Wizards, and yeah, he actually played there in 2015, 14, somewhere around there. He did play with the Wizards. This time a bit earlier than that. Yeah, very solid team though. What I'm gonna do to battle DC is I'm actually going to put Kawhi Leonard at the shooting guard position and put Michael Beasley in the starting lineup. Most of the minutes will remain the same though, and let's get started with the game one. We're sitting at a very solid lead, and we never look back. A very solid game to start off, 110 for us, and yeah, let's get it, man. We're still not having any home court games. DC has the home court advantage over us, barely, but it doesn't matter, home court or not. We take game two, sitting at a very comfortable 2-0 lead. We cannot get too comfortable though, because game three is going to be a tough one. Very close to start off, a good solid second quarter run, and we're up 3-0. We win very comfortably there, and now it's game four. Yeah, we're still in Detroit. And yeah, we never look back in this series. We blow them out each and every game. And yeah, we took care of business. We're up 111-95. I'm going to put my bench unit in, and we're going to sim the rest of this game and wait for either the Dallas Mavericks or the Sacramento Kings in the NBA Finals. Yep, a 21-point win there. And we're going to face off against the Dallas Mavericks. They're back into the finals. They were in the finals last year and lost to the Heat. Now they're back with Jason Kidd, Jason Terry. They got the Matrix, Dirk Nowitzki, Tyson Chandler, Patrick Mills is there. He's a very solid backup player. Very solid teams. The Matrix putting up 20 points. The Jet putting up 20 points. Nowitzki putting up 20 points. Kidd putting up 11 points on very, very, very strong efficiency. His efficiency is up 11% in the playoffs, and his three-point shooting 14%. He's just killing it in the playoffs. Jason Kidd, the legend. Jason Terry, 20 points per game on very good shooting splits. The Matrix is killing it on 20 points per game. Nowitzki, 20 points per game. Tyson Chandler, 2 blocks per game. A very tough team. Patrick Mills is basically 50-40, 15 points per game as a 75 overall player. Drew Gooden is a very good backup option. Shane Battier, 47% from 3. Jan Miamini is a very solid option off the bench. Quentin Richardson, Kenneth Faried, 2011 rookie. He's not really getting many opportunities out there, but still, Kenneth Faried is a very solid player there. Quentin Richardson, he's a very good shooter, 39% from 3 in the playoffs. Yeah, it's a very tough matchup. He's up 15% on the field goal percentages. It's going to be a very, very tough series, although we've overcame every obstacle, so maybe I shouldn't be as worried as I am. As you can see, my team is very deep. They're also missing out on one of their key contributors, Caron Butler. He's out for the season. He hasn't even played in the playoffs yet, so nothing to worry much about there. So let's just take care of business. Game one coming up right now. All right, we have not had home court in any of these games. Dallas jumps on a very big lead to start off this game. We did tie it up for a little bit, but they do go on a 37-26 fourth quarter run to take care of business and take game one. And this is game two. 110-109. We sit at a 1-point lead. They're on a 25-20 run in the fourth quarter. Let's jump in and watch a little bit. All right, we're sitting at a 1-point lead. Stuckey drives inside. A step back. Pump fakes. A shot over Kidd. No good. Chandler brings it down. Gooden giving the ball. Is that Butler? Butler is playing now. Apparently he's back from his injury. Not great for us. Gooden inside. He has a big mismatch down there, and he scores in the post 111 to 110 with 144 remaining in this game. That's Michael Beasley with the ball, number 8. He gives it up to Stuckey. Rodney Stuckey gives it up to Beasley. The 3 late contested. Nowitzki, good. He hits the tough shot. Nowitzki, not a great contest there. Much slower than Beasley. That's a great look for us. A screen set for Kid inside pass to Nowitzki. He's playing injured. The post move, the beautiful shot for him. It's a good bucket. Ties it up there. Nowitzki, I was trying to check what his injury was. He's healing from a sore knee day to day. So I'll take anything I can take, man. We're bringing up the ball here. Gets the screen. Stuckey. Pass inside to Beasley. Beasley. Pump fake. Gets Dirk biting. And he scores. Man, he takes advantage of Dirk's injury. Dirk, I can't even tell you what that was right there. That was just stupid from Dirk Nowitzki. Kid has it here now. He's going to bounce a little bit here and there. Gives it up to Butler. He's cutting inside. The pass to Chandler. Back out to Kid. They're resetting Chandler to set screen. Inside pass. And Kamen just falls asleep as Chandler... Oh, man, that was just bad defense. He has 14 rebounds and 11 points. That was just hard to watch. Beasley he's just abusing Dirk. This is unfair. Switch up the matchups. It's making me switch accents. Beasley's just cooking Nowitzki at this point. It doesn't matter. Nowitzki in the post. Beasley... Oh, he gets the contest and it's off. Nowitzki misses his signature fade. Chandler misses the putback attempt. And Leonard, he's going to get fouled and a timeout is called. All right, Kawhi Leonard at the line. The first one is good. The rookie rocking the number 17 for some reason. Regardless of that, the second one drops as well. 119, 115, and Dallas calls their timeout. Chandler looking to inbound. The ball is given to Terry. Terry inside. Leonard with the steal. Gives it up to Stuckey. And 20.9 seconds remaining in this game. And another foul. 119, 115. 2 shots coming up by Rodney Stuckey. A clutch steal from Kawhi Leonard there. Wow. Because this game is pretty much over. 121, 117. Yeah, it's over. Detroit, let's go. We have won this game. A very good game. Stuckey, Beasley, Millsap, 20 each. A really good game. I get 30 VC from that. And we take the 3-1 lead here. We're going to simcast this game. And we're not going to look back. It seems like 40-20 opening. They go on a solid run there, 20-12. It doesn't really matter. It's not really close. And this game's pretty much over. 48 seconds remaining, 100-79 in Dallas. The home court was so quiet, man. Yeah, let's go. Dallas couldn't beat us. We were the underdogs in every single series, the 6th seed. And Detroit takes care of business. Their first championship since 2004. Nowitzki in the post. He's still banked up. Fadeaway shot. The hook. No good. Rebound Beasley. Beasley has been taking advantage of Dirk since game 1. I don't know if it was Dirk's injury or what, but Beasley was killing Dirk Nowitzki this whole series. Regardless of that, Leonard given the ball, guarded by the Matrix, goes inside. Pass to Kamen. Misses the layup. Smokes it. Dallas gets the rebound. Doesn't really matter. Only 14 seconds remaining. They put up the shot. They miss it. It's just been that kind of a series. A lot of missed shots. Our defensive team is good. Our offense is even better. And we just won the NBA championships. Let's go, man. And Detroit has done it. We have won the championship. Year 2 streak continues for the Michael Danakian channel. Let's keep it up, man. Got Jason Kidd jumping up and down with Kamen and the rest of the team. NBA Finals, we have won it. Let's see who the Finals MVP is. The rest of the bench jumping up and down. Monroe, Millsap, Dragic, Stuckey up there jumping up and down. We got 93. I don't really know who that is. He's jumping up and down. We also, man, so many trades were done at the end of the deadline. We were a 500 team, 42-40, and we still managed to win the NBA championship. David Stern shaking hands with Stuckey as he receives the Finals MVP trophy. Man, we did it, man. This is a very good team. Depth wins the championship. Leonard with 24 points, a very excellent game for the rookie. 3 steals alongside 20 points. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. Comment down what team you want me to do next. And peace.